partying like it's 1979 in Terre Haute, as for the first time in 45 years, the Indiana State Sycamores are ranked in the AP Top 25. Tonight, the Trees defend their number 23 spot for the first time, taking on the Illinois State Redbirds. We welcome you courtside at the Holman Center with Indiana State Hall of Famer Matt Wren. I'm Brendan King. Matt, number 23 in the nation. What's the significance of that big number?
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, the excitement is back into town for sure. And so, to look at it, haven't been ranked since '79, and just had 2 sold-out arenas already. We'll be full here tonight, and so just a lot of excitement around this program.
Something to tell the tape for Illinois State, coming off 3 straight losses, Matt, but their last 2 by a combined 8 points, most recently at Southern Illinois.
Yeah, just can't quite get there. Last game they were down 19 in the second half here, but found a way to battle back, cut it to 1 late, but man, just not enough. It's this team just struggled to score the ball this season and keep losing some close games.
And struggling to stay healthy as well. Johnny Kinziger had 11 points for Illinois State in the ballgame. For Indiana State, Matt, you're ranked now. You got to show up specifically in this one, and they learned last time out, no easy road games in the Valley.
Yeah, I mean, Target's on. He's been on this team for most of the season, especially in conference play, and so you go down to Missouri State, a tough place to play. Didn't shoot the ball, especially from the three-point line in the first half. Schools really struggled, but man, this team, has just found ways to win ball games, and that was no different down there. Found a way to grit it out for a good road win.
Ryan Peden at the helm of the Illinois State Redbirds program, his second year. Matt, he learned under the lineage of Charlie Coles, John Gross, Chris Holtman. Pretty good coaching certainly there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And second run through in Missouri Valley, so a revamped roster, dealing with some injuries and just trying to figure things out as Redbirds.
Took Josh Schertz 3 seasons to crack the top 25. He is there, and seemingly the only direction Indiana State has gone is up.
Yeah, maybe the most popular man in Terre Haute right now is Josh Schertz. Has this program just rolling right now. We've talked a lot about the ranking already, and has put a target on this team's back in a good way. And so tonight they're going to have to defend that first ranking here against the Illinois State Redbirds.
Packed house, Brendan King, Matt Wren, our terrific crew, your referees, Brent Smith, Steve Levine, and Chase Shaw. Enjoy this one. Illinois State wins the tip in all red. Indiana State rocks the white. With you in Terre Haute. Indiana State looks for their 10th straight victory as the Redbirds control.
Yeah, so you're going to see a lot of ball screen actions for Illinois State. I think this is a matchup they're going to go to early and often. Foster down low, a little bit, I would say non-traditional, but playing 2 bigs and Foster and Lewis. And then see right away, Brennan, you kind of wonder, Missouri State played zone most of the game, switched up some things, and Illinois State does not play much zone at all, if any. And so would they try to duplicate that? It looks like per possession they have.
Nothing changes in the starting 5 for Indiana State. For Illinois State, Matt, it has been a winding and weaving starting 5. 3 starters out with injury. Jordan Davis, Darius Burford, and Brandon Lee all out, so Ryan Peden has had to change things around.
Had to change things around, and Kissinger out there trying to play a true freshman and just really trying to piece it together, and that stinks. That's one of the parts, that Indiana State's been lucky with, and the fact that they've stayed healthy. They haven't had to switch lineups a whole lot. Illinois State dealing with some of those injuries.
Strong start for the Redbirds. Miles Foster had their first points. They are a transfer-heavy crew, including this guy, Malachi Poindexter. Transfer from Virginia. Played his first 2 years for Tony Bennett. And now in Bloomington Normal.
Yeah, this is a game I feel like he's going to have to hit some shots. He's kind of struggled from the three-point line this season, but has gotten it going in his last couple.
Here come the Sycamores. Swope with some speed, cutting into the lane. Now hands off to Conwell, coming off a strong performance is Conwell. 24 points at Missouri State, and that's heading the other way.
Some heat on that pass. Larry just not able to handle it.
Matt Wren, your keys to the game for this one, brought to you by Great Dane.
Yeah, first for Indiana State post defense. We talked about them going with some bigger guys with Foster and Lewis down low. I mean, I think they're going to try to pound the ball in. So got to have that interior defense. And the second chance points. And Illinois State's the top team in the Missouri Valley in offensive rebounds, over 10 a game. Got to limit them to just 1 shot. It really leads me into the first key there for Illinois State. Got to steal possessions. One way you steal possessions is those offensive rebounds. The other way with turnovers. And then they're going to have to shoot at a better percentage than they have this season if they want to stay with this high-flying Indiana State offense.
We were talking about this pregame that Illinois State defensively is, in terms of points allowed, second-best team in the Missouri Valley. There is more to that, but Illinois State, if they're going to have a chance in this one, Matt, they're going to have to hold Indiana State first of all, but also they have struggled shooting the ball, just 28% from outside.
Yeah, and I think the second part's going to be, usually the tougher. Indiana State's about 85 points a game, and so they get a lot of possessions, and they got just talented guys around the basketball, and so I think in order to stay with them, you have to shoot the ball well. You got to put some points up, and so far Illinois State has done just that.
6-0 start for the Redbirds. Illinois State at 11-14, losers of 3 straight. And Indiana State, another slow start. Avia looks to get them on the board, cannot do so. Rebound by Kent, and another miss. Interestingly, at Missouri State, Matt, the Sycamores did not score their first point until after the under-16. They've gone 3 minutes here without a towel.
Yeah, and some of that is, going against the zone, it's a little bit different. It takes more of a rhythm, and so once you get into a rhythm, obviously you tend to have more success. And they did make some early shots in that game, which kind of hurt as well. So a little stagnant, I think, offensively for Indiana State against the zone of the Redbirds. The Redbirds are going to go here. They're going to try to get the ball inside. They're going to try to let Foster go to work. They love to get Avila, some early fouls along the way.
Swat by Avila. Let's see if that can give the Sycamores some juice. Larry does so.
Yeah, and I like that. The first time they really attacked the zone off the bounce, that time all the way to the basket for Julian Larry.
Foster, the transfer from Monmouth, in against Avila. That's going to be a fun matchup tonight.
Yeah, kind of different styles. Avila more finesse. Foster wants to get his right shoulder into you and go to work.
Poindexter, that's a key early shot for him. He had really struggled from the field for pretty much the entire month of January. More on that a little bit later as Larry rips from 3, a little bit long. Illinois State limiting Indiana State to 1 and done to start this game.
Which is key, because anytime you play a zone, one thing that you're going to have to be willing to give up is offensive rebounds. It is just harder to get defensive rebounds out of the zones. You're not matched up. And so, so far they've done a pretty good job. Kent got one early, wasn't able to finish. That's something to look at.
Foster inside. He's the southpaw, just did not get the roll. Acthouse at the home and center. The handoff to Kent. He cuts it off glass.
Just good early offense, and Julian Larry is as good as anybody in the country, in my opinion. Getting the outlet, getting from 3-point line to 3-point line and making a play.
And another quick answer by the Redbirds. Johnny Kinziger. A developing storyline in Bloomington Normal. Just a freshman from De Pere, Wisconsin. He was Wisconsin's Mr. Basketball. Also playing some solid defense early. As a travel takes us into our first media timeout. Illinois State has come out to play early in Terre Haute.
Introducing the new 2024 Ford F-150. Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
Oh, Louie, where you going? I gotta handle something. Nah, yada, yada. Let's go, Louie, hold that side way. Vamos.
Tired of yada yada like exploding bells?
Hey, I'm done with this yada yada.
You don't take yada yada in life?
I'll get the paperwork.
Don't take yada yada from your wireless provider. At Metro, there's no contracts, no exploding bills, and nada yada yada.
When you download the Kroger app, enjoy over $500 in savings every week with digital coupons. And earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. You can always discover more ways to save big every day. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Hey man, ever since you tried Zesty Hidden Valley Ranch, I feel like you've been a bigger fan of that than the closers.
How could you say that?
Ranch time.
Hidden Valley Ranch.
Oh, this is my flavor.
First few minutes of this one, Illinois State coming out to play against Indiana State, up by 6. And early on, Matt Rent, it is the freshman Johnny Kinziger impressing, as well as Miles Foster. Kinziger, 3 of their first 5 picks.
Yeah, and so the young freshman there getting some extra playing time because of injuries, and he just keeps getting better. Really good last game there. Beautiful shot fake, step through, and then they've been looking to get downhill, get the ball inside the Fosters. They've gone 5 of 9 here to start the ball game.
As mentioned before the break, Kinziger, an interesting recruit. Wisconsin's co-Mr. Basketball led De Pere High School to a 30-0 record last season. Ryan Peden talking with him earlier today. Called the young freshman, quote, cold-blooded competitor. It's pretty good welcoming into a program. And, you know, Matt, that's a program in Illinois State. Peden's in his 2nd year, an assistant coach at Butler, assistant coach at Ohio State. He's going through similar things to what Josh Schertz went through his first couple of years.
Just trying to figure it out, figure it out in the league and figure out what pieces that you have, because he inherited some guys last year, went out and got some guys, a lot of them flew via the transfer portal, some freshmen, and Kinziger is one of the guys we talked about, just seeing how they all mesh in the second season through.
Before the break, a travel by Indiana State. Redbirds got the ball. Dalton Banks runs the point for them, along with Malachi Poindexter. And Miles Foster jumping out to the top of the key here. Banks, the Southern Illinois transfer. Now Foster along, too. That shot has really developed it for him over the year. Not really an outside shooter, but that is one of the things Peden says he has consistently worked on, correct?
Well, it just adds another layer. Likes to get his head down, likes to get off the bounce there and knock guys off the ball. And if you're able to do that, and guys can't really play off of you as much as they like.
Ryan Conwell on the board.
And Conwell's terrific the last game. 24 points and really kept Indiana State alive, especially in the first half. And 6 3-pointers in that game. He was one of the few guys that was able to make some shots. Swope struggled a little bit there, 5 of 17. Avila was 0 for 5 from the 3-point line, but Conwell 6 of 5 was a big part of the Indiana State's offense.
Banks for 3. Foster the offensive rebound. The bouncer under to Lewis. And the big man will drop it in. Offensive rebounds, the bread and butter for Illinois State. The 2nd best team in offensive rebounding efficiency in the Missouri Valley.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And, that was one of the keys there. For Indiana State trying to limit them to 1 shot. They've got a couple, already. They haven't missed a lot of shots. They've been hot here early.
What a kick to Conwell. Just not getting the shots are the Sycamores.
Good look there for Conwell, just didn't go in.
Kendall Lewis underneath. The hand to Foster. Timeout, Indiana State. As Josh Schertz wants to talk about it, with about 6 minutes gone by in the first half. 10-point game. How about the Redbirds?
Yeah, got a great pace to them. I think if you read Coach Schertz's lips, I think the most disappointing is on this end, the defensive end. I feel like Illinois State scored a little bit too easy for his liking. Indiana State's getting decent looks on the other end, but it's gone through these stretches before where the shots haven't fallen, which is why you always have to fall back and rely on that defense to kind of carry you through those times.
And this is really the opposite for Illinois State of what happened in that Southern Illinois game last time out. They were down by 19. They end up losing the game by just a single score, came all the way back, and really perhaps even 1 possession away from winning that game.
Yeah, no doubt about it. They had the ball 10 seconds down 3, but they're just a beautiful catch. As Lewis and Foster have just been extremely active in this game. And, we talked about one of the keys, shooting better than the season average coming in. Illinois State's just shooting 41% from the field, just 28% from the 3-point line. And you knew those numbers were going to have to go up if you wanted to get a big road win.
So out of the timeout, Indiana State in the top 25 for the first time. And this is what you're going to get, right? You're going to get everybody's best shot coming into the Holman Center.
Well, no doubt about it. I think being in first place, especially 2 games like Indiana State's been most of the conference season, you were going to get the target. But now you're slapping a number 23 national ranking on there to them and a chance to knock off a ranked opponent, and that adds a little more juice to whoever Indiana State's playing.
Almost stolen by Larry. Here comes Banks downhill with a scoop off glass. Dalton Banks, a senior from Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Eau Claire High School's all-time leading scorer.
Yeah, transfer for Southern Illinois there. Had to play behind Xavier Johnson and Lance Jones at the point guard position last season, and so that's kind of tough as both those guys are extremely, extremely talented players, and getting a chance here, more minutes, and it's taking advantage of them here for the Redbirds.
Not something we've typically seen. Indiana State 0 of 6 from outside. And Foster again.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about a team that's 10th in the country in three-point field goal percentage. And so, again, a real careless turnover there from Avila. I think they thought Swope was coming off the handoff and just wasn't. So
Ryan Beaton has got to be elated with this start. 22-8. The Redbirds are taking it to the Sycamores early.
I think a couple things happened. I think Illinois State's playing with great pace. Don't know that Indiana State was locked in defensively. And then offensively, not making shots. I mean, they've been able to get to the rim. They've been able to get downhill, but kind of that signature three-pointer hasn't gone down so far for the Sycamores. As they're 0 of 6 here to start the ballgame.
Inside, they've been able to get some rolls, but again, not doing what they typically have, and that's shooting well outside. And almost a hockey line change about to come in on that scorer's table. 3 new Sycamores will enter at the next whistle. Poindexter outside, misses that one. Here comes Swope. Needs some help. Swope comes back by himself. Got it to Avila, it worked out.
Well, that's the other piece, too. You know, Indiana State loves early offense. They love pushing pace, pushing tempo, but that's hard to do when you're not getting stops. And so, by Illinois State scoring the basketball early, they've been able to slow the Sycamores down, make them score against that 2-3 zone, not let them get into some of the early offense stuff.
Foster's got 8 points already. Native of Brooklyn. Step back for Banks.
Hey, you feel like that ball's got to go back into Foster there. I mean, on that repost, I think that's where Illinois State wants the ball to go to. Man, tough shot there by Swope. Got lost in midair, switched to that left hand, and got the little floater to go.
Pretty left hand. Swope coming off a 19-point game at Missouri State. Hard to believe. Teams are combined 0 of 10 from outside. All of this scoring in the first 10 minutes. Inside the three-pointer. Poindexter backing down Swope. Wanted to get it to Lewis. Lewis sent the screen, then pulled away. At the buzzer, another missed three. Kent rips down the rebound and foul doing so.
Yeah, just great effort there by Cannon. Energy out of that timeout on the defensive end, especially much better for the Sycamores.
Sycamores got some life. 23 team in the nation. Illinois State. Still, we've got a good one on tap.
Oh, brother. Which brother? The older brother, duh. You're only older by a minute. Best million of my life. Guys, break it up.
Our son just needs car insurance.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
The State Farm agent can help you choose the right coverage.
Give me the ball, you my That was my ball. Break it up.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
So, some people say when it comes to my Ford SUV, I'm a bit of a control freak. What's wrong with that? Who doesn't want better command of the road? Who can't handle saving a little more on gas? Why wouldn't I want to just turn a knob when the weather changes, like it's ever the same? Ford SUVs put me where I want to be, in control. Who doesn't want that? Now, get an Escape with 0.9 financing for 60 months, plus 1,000 retail trade assist cash, only from your local Ford dealers.
From his time at Indiana State University to today, attorney R.T. Green has shared a connection with Terre Haute. For the last 15 years, he has provided our community with proven personal injury representation. These deep ties give R.T., his son Colin, and every member of Team Green Law the local knowledge and insight needed to help you get a fair recovery. See the difference local experience makes. For a free consultation, visit us online at teamgreenlaw.com. Team Green Law, for you, with you.
Illinois State was up 14 in this one. Indiana State with a nice run before the timeout and have produced, Matt Brown, a 6-0 run, getting them back in the game because the energy early all belonged to the Redbirds.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Kind of came out with a haymaker, the Redbirds did, but a nice little answer back by Indiana State. Finally got some stops on the defensive end, got out early in transition, and able to put some points on the board.
Was it more offensively or defensively what Illinois State did to take advantage of?
Well, I think, one thing we talked about is creating more possessions. And I think as well as Indiana State shoots the ball to beat them, you got to get more possessions. So you look here, they got 4 points off turnovers, and they got 2 points on second chance points. So that's, that's 6 points plus 6 there in those two categories that you would consider the best way of getting those extra possessions. And so, right now we're in an 8-point game. So, I thought early on, Illinois State did exactly what they wanted to offensively. They wanted to get the ball inside. They wanted to, attack the rim, and they were able to do it successfully.
Didn't necessarily think we'd be telling you at the under 12, 0 of 11 combined on 3, but that's where we are in this 22-14 game. Changes on both sides. Jake Wolf comes in for Indiana State, as does Xavier Bledson and Mason Miller. For Illinois State, Luke Mizuki in for the first time, as is their big freshman center, Chase Walker. Hard to miss him, 6'9", 300 pounds.
Yeah, he's big. And Indiana State loves this lineup, versus the zone. You put Bledson and Avila, I would say Indiana State's two best passers there against the zone. Normally those guys don't play at the same time, but we've seen some looks against the 2-3 where they have.
Kendall Lewis remains in for the Redbirds, as does Kinziger with the ball. And he traveled.
Yeah. A little bit too fast there, not able to stop on the dime and turn around. And first turnover for Illinois State. And just lost his footing.
Wolf and Kinziger, the matchup there at the top. Bledson matches up with Lewis. Big man on big man. The switch now. Conwell, clean look.
Yeah.
Still 0.
A lid on that basket. And a lid on that basket.
Indiana State is still on a 6-0 run, technically. We're under 10 minutes to play first half. Kinziger, Muir, top of the key. The freshman, 35% from outside. He's piecing together a strong freshman campaign, as we talked about early, Matt. Mainly due to injury, but he's capitalizing on his opportunity.
Yeah, and that's all you can do. When you're put in that position, especially as a true freshman, just to try to figure it out as fast as you can. Coach loves his grit.
And the turnover, Walker swiped it away. Kinzinger's got 11 points. That matches his total from their prior game at Southern Illinois.
And that was one of his higher point totals there. So it's kind of, you wonder with this Illinois State team. Talked to Mike Matthews, longtime analyst there on the radio, and just worried about them finding a guy where they can get buckets. And Kinziger has provided that early on. I don't think that's where they would expect to have gotten it from, but they sure have.
Avila waiting on some options, finds Bledson. Xavier's minutes down lately, only averaging about 12 minutes over the last 3 games. And another turnover.
What's that now for Indiana State? 5 turnovers for the Sycamores.
It's just the one for Illinois State.
Yeah.
Here comes Kinziger again. Fouled and bumped on his way.
Yeah, maybe a late push there. He said he hit him on the arm. Looked like Kinziger was pretty free going to the basket there. Let's take a look. They swiped down, Martel angle, but could have swiped down on that left arm. The official that called it was on that opposite side, so camera angle was about the same angle we had.
85% at the line. But he missed the front end. Ty Pence, the 6'6 freshman, into the game. Illinois native. Pence was a top 200 recruit. He's not getting a lot of playing time in his initial campaign in Bloomington moment. Banks also back in for the Redbirds, replacing Kinziger.
Illinois State still settling in this 2-3 zone, but they're matching up a lot. I don't know, it looks like. There's one guy you'd like to find, but man.
Wolf Skies in for the rebound, extra possession for the Trees.
0 for 9 from the 3-point line right now, the Sycamores.
It's amazing, isn't it? And another block. Avila, he was held this time on his way into the paint. Refs booked that, and that'll take us into the under 8. So another media timeout, still a 12-point game. Illinois State defensively keeping them in this one as we move along in the first half.
This is just
Red, I'm Brendan King from the Holman Center. 26-14 your score at the under 8 time out of the first half. Illinois State playing sharply here in this half number 1 in Terre Haute. Robbie Avila before the break was blocked and then fouled by Chase Walker.
Yeah, really nothing easy for Indiana State going against this 2-3 kind of spread out zone of the Red Boards. I don't think it caught them off guard. I know they catch them off guard. Talking to Coach Graves, assistant coach for Indiana State earlier, kind of expected Illinois State to play a zone, especially after Missouri State and some other teams have tried it lately. I don't think he expected Indiana State to go over the first 9 from the 3-point line. Now 17 of 19 overall, Redbirds 12 of 21, and so. And I think a lot of those 3-pointers were pretty good looks, but man, it's just gone dry for Indiana State from beyond the arc.
Yeah, the teams have combined 1 for 15 from outside as Avila adds 2 free throws, 80% at the line this year. But kind of like we talked about, Matt, at the top of the broadcast, when you are ranked, surely, number 1, when you are the top team in your conference, Poindexter misses from outside, but especially when you're ranked. If a team like Purdue has experienced this a lot over the last few years, you're going to get literally everybody's best shot.
Yeah, and I think they have for a while, and I agree. I don't know if it added a little bit more to the nerves. Maybe that's contributed to the shooting. I don't know. This team has been extremely resilient. They've been in pinches before this season. I think at UIC they were down 18 on the road and really haven't wavered in those situations. And so I don't see a lot of, would say, super concerned out of the Indiana State so far because they've kind of been in these places before. Just need a few shots to go down.
Sycamores within 8. Poindexter again misses. Well, he was really starting to put it together from outside. It hit 8 3-pointers in his last 3 games, but only hit 4 from outside in the entire month of January.
Yeah, his outside shooting has been kind of a surprise because he was easily their best return shooter. He's one of the best shooters in the Valley last season. He just hasn't shot it at a great clip this season, but much better as of late.
Statistically, he was the best shooter in the Valley coming back among returners this year. But he's really struggled.
Yeah, just 30% coming into the game.
Miles Foster had 8 points in the first 5 or 6 minutes. And that one sidestepped.
Bledson doesn't have a lot of size, but he's got good hands. They're able to get a piece of the ball.
Outside, Miller tried to get it quickly to Ryan Conwell. Poindexter tipped it. Hittinger back in. And the starting 5 will also re-enter for Indiana State. Much of it.
That's a good job there, giving up a couple inches and some LBs, but sticking his nose in there, able to come up with a steal.
Wolf sticks out there, so Jack Wolf getting some time here. Had limited minutes over the last month or so, but the 5th-year senior from Aurora transferred from Lipscomb. Getting a chance. Kent under the basket, 2 men on him. And ripping it away was Kazuki. It's a jump ball. Possession arrow favors the Sycamores.
I just don't feel like the Sycamores have caught even little things like just catching the ball there. I mean, that's delivered. Usually Kent gets his hands right on that, and that's a layup. But they kind of mishandled a little bit and then fumbled it, and they're not able to get the layup.
Wolf feeds Bledson on the baseline. What a spin. Bledson draws contact.
Didn't have much time there. I mean, a handful of seconds on the shot clock, and good job of kind of making something out of nothing there to draw contact.
Yeah, they're going to review it.
See if it got off in time.
Yeah, that was close. Great spin move, though, and then he ducked underneath Foster for good measure.
Yeah, he got away with a little hook there with the left arm as well, but from that angle, I couldn't see the backboard and the shot attempt at the same time.
Well, Ryan Pete talked with him at their morning shoot-around, coming off that loss to Southern Illinois where you're down 19, you lose by 3. He was simply saying he was looking for better effort, and he's definitely gotten that in this first half.
I don't think there's any question. It looks like he would have gotten it off and the foul was called before the shot clock expired, so Bledson will go to line for 2.
Bledson, the always reliable redshirt senior, transferred in from Lincoln Memorial, where Josh Schertz coached. Won multiple national championships before he went to Terre Haute.
And you've kind of seen his versatility throughout his career here. I mean, when he first came in, he played really more of a, power, small forward, 3 spot, and it's kind of slowly worked himself. Last year, maybe more 4, and then this year, he's at a lot of times has spelled Avila at the 5. Even though we're about beyond giving people numbers in today's basketball game as far as becoming positionless, but usually those numbers with who you can guard, and so he's been able to kind of go across the board in what he's given the Sycamores.
Trees have slowly grinded their way back within 6. Illinois State has not scored over the last 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Pence cuts into the lane. Pence, the freshman, missed it. Rebound for Lewis.
Second chance opportunities. He got the first miss, but just could not corral that defensive rebound.
Again, the offensive rebounding. They average over 10 of those per game, just offensive rebounds. Letson from outside. And the shooting woes continue. Could you imagine the Trees being 0 of 11 from deep? That's what they are.
Yeah, I think a couple ways of looking at it, depending on how this ends up. But, down 8 and you're 0 11 the 3-point line, maybe not a terrible position. You feel like if you hit a couple of those, obviously it's a different story.
Pretty net by Larry.
Not easy there. Lots of contact, get to the rim, and show some nice touch with the bank shot.
He's so squirmy kind of when he gets into the lane. He's able to shake off defenders easily. Take some tough shots. Julian Larry.
He changes speed so well. He sees a hole. It's like a running back just attacking the hole sometimes.
Well, he was a pretty good high school quarterback.
He was.
Down in Frisco, Texas. Foster kicks to Banks. Banks now steps in for the long 2. I think if you're the Sycamores, you take that any given day of the week.
Yeah, and you can tell Indiana State switched up on how they guard. I think early on they had more single coverage in the post. Didn't want to give up some more shot threes earlier, and since then have doubled, been digging off guys more, and Illinois State hasn't made shots. When we talked about Indiana State's roll from the 3-point line, they're 0 for 13 now. Indiana State is. Illinois State just 1 for 8 themselves.
It's really remarkable when you look at the talent of the team. Now, we know Illinois State struggles from a shooting standpoint. Ty Pence, the freshman, in and out. But this is an Indiana State team, top 10 in the nation in 3-point percentage. Is this the one?
Yeah, I can tell you they're going to keep firing them. And,
no doubt.
And they should. And so I don't think, you just don't. Those are all good looks. So if they're not going down, then okay, let's try to get maybe better ones, try to get a paint touch first, maybe try to get a post touch, and then back out. But look, these guys can shoot the basketball. And if they're open from 3, you got to continue to tell your guys to let them rip.
Ryan Beaton directing traffic from that bench. Letson weighing the options, 10 to shoot. Here comes Swope. He was knocked, and then an extra one.
Good physical, as you would expect in conference play.
Getting toward the month of March after all. Under 4 timeout of the first half. Within 8, it's competitive as Arch Madness. It's on the way soon. ESPN Plus, you can surely anticipate Indiana State's not going to stop shooting those anytime soon.
I don't think so. It's the old water will, eventually find level. And so a team that's 10th in the country, almost 40% from the 3-point line on the season, and you got 5 guys out there at all times who can shoot it. And if those guys get a good look, one that they're in rhythm and stepping into, you can't just not, start taking a big part of what your offense is. So, I think those are. I did not expect over 14. I don't think anybody would expect that. 6 turnovers here in the first half. Obviously maybe a little bit more than Coach Schertz would like.
Well, 6 turnovers right now in that Missouri State game. Indiana State committed 7
the whole game.
The whole game.
And that really kept them in it because otherwise, when you don't shoot it as well, you've got to try to get more possessions. And so winning the turnover battle is one of them. Winning the rebounding battle, especially offensive rebounds, is another.
2 Redbirds in double digits. Kinziger's one of them. Foster the other. Walker, the big center, back in. And Poindexter fades away and kisses it off the glass.
Yeah, it's such a deep screen there. Avila playing so far off. Walker get that screen in the lane, and pretty easy to turn the corner there on that one.
Back to a 10-point game. Swope. Boy, just so close. Kent the offensive rebound, though. And now Conwell in the corner, drives behind the back. Pretty play. Now lost it to Kent. 10 to shoot for Indiana State. Avila, is this the one? Kent on the putback.
Well, and that's the 6th offensive rebound for Indiana State, and 2 of them on that possession. And so if you're going to be nitpicky one area, yeah, you can live with some missed shots, but maybe should have come up with more offensive rebounds, on those misses. And so good to see Kent there battling for a couple there for that on that possession.
First Sycamore bucket in just about 3 minutes. Only 1 3 in the game. It belongs to the Redbirds. Foster backing down Avila. That was clean. Swope in the corner.
And the Falcons, man. That looked like almost the last second shot of the game.
Is this the second half with 30 seconds left?
That's incredible.
It's the first half with 70 seconds left. Standing O. Mariah shoots first triple.
Wow.
Listen to this play.
Yeah, 16 prior misses in a row, and 17 goes up, and we called it. Did they hesitate on any of those? No, and they shouldn't. And so 17 came along. Boy, you thought this place hit a buzzer beater there. As excited as they got.
Well, and that leads us into the appropriate stats. Again, just as a reminder, this is an Indiana State team that tops the Missouri Valley in all those categories. And again, they are a top 10 three-point shooting team in the country, top 3 in field goal percentage in the country. They're still number 1 in effective field goal percentage.
Which they've been for about 2 months. At like 60 points.
As long as we've known each other, which is all season.
No doubt about it. You see there. First in effective field goal, second. This is a team that has scored at a high clip and has been extremely efficient in their offense. So to see them sitting at 27 right now, 1 of 17, I don't think a lot of people expected that. But I think the key to me is, you're down 5, right? If your defense doesn't switch gears, come to play, then that could be a lot worse. They don't want to stay a lot of credit though, man. Out of timeouts, they know where they want to go. They got some size and some beef down low. Good interior pass from one big to another there. Took the contact on the arm. Walker still able to finish.
Chase Walker, impressive. He's got a really interesting story. 6'9", 290 pounds from Columbus, Ohio. In high school, he suffered multiple lower body injuries around his feet and pushed the weight up. He was about 400 pounds before he came into college. Lost about 100 of it. And now playing Division I basketball.
He's an absolute load, and then you saw some of the skill set there. He's able to take contact and still maintain that body position and finish.
And he crashes in for the rebound. There's a foul on somebody.
There you get Walker from behind going over Larry's back.
You mentioned those inbound plays too for Ryan Beaton. He's a long-time assistant coach learning under John Roach. 2 guys that have kind of mastered the art of inbound plays. So Ryan Beaton getting a chance to be a head coach for the first time in his 2nd year. Larry somehow found his way in and he jumped over the photographers.
Is it foul? Foul, yeah.
Well, but again, Illinois State, a team that is injury-ridden. Walker, a freshman, playing the 5. Kazuki will come back in, but they're without their tallest player. You can imagine that. Brandon Lee, the Illinois transfer, senior, 7'1". He's been out for the last considerable amount of time.
Yep, Burford and Davis out as well.
And Burford, their leading scorer out of Bolingbrook, Illinois. Jordan Davis, the twin brother of Johnny Davis, Wisconsin transfer. All 3 of those guys have missed the last multiple games. Sycamores have hit their free throws. They're 6 of 6 from the stripe. Stop here with 2 threes left.
They're trying to play for the 2-for-1 there, about 10-second differential. Shot clock, game clock. Didn't have much time to do that.
And a 10-second difference. Kinzinger works around Kent. Poindexter, make the three. Two to shoot. He's got to get rid of it. Does so. Missed badly. Shot clock violation. Sycamores will have 8.7.
Yeah, plenty of time to get into a quick action here and get a good look.
You go back to the three?
Look, Coach Schertz always talks about the first thing they're looking for is searching layups, and then the threes a lot of times are the byproduct of that. So they're just going to take the best shot they can get in the situation.
Larry's got 6 with some speed. Larry crashes. Can't find it. But Kent with the second. 6-point game going to happen.
Kind of that point, just trying to manufacture points. And Indiana State did make all 6 of their free throws in the first half. And I think for the most part, suffered through the woes, only down 6 points at halftime, considering you were 1 of 17 and not really where you wanted to be, but not a bad place. So I think both teams can look at some things here at halftime and feel okay about it.
Purdell National Bank first half stats. You take a peek at how the teams did in comparison. Leading scorer for Indiana State was Julian Larry with 8. 2 Redbirds were into double figures. Again, that's Johnny Kinzinger, the true freshman who went 5 of 5 from the field. And then Miles Foster, he had 8 points really before the under 16 that is. Cooled off a little bit, still wound up with 7.
Yeah, they went to Foster early and he was able to produce. And so, man, just look there. That 3-point field goal just pops really for both teams.
We'll take a timeout. When we come back, there is a lot going around the Missouri Valley. We'll keep you posted on everything you need to know after the timeout. Illinois State and Indiana State tonight in Terre Haute.
Introduce some of those postseason awards and just still a lot of games left to play though.
Getting set for the second half. We'll toss to break one more time and come back with the rest of the action. Illinois State and Indiana State.
Get the coins, get them. Wow, Gianna, you win! Having a daddy-daughter day, that's my way to play. Nintendo Switch.
Not everyone's.
There's no stopping us now.
This is just spectacular.
That's our move. Women's College Hoops on ESPN and ABC.
The rush to the playoffs. The biggest games. The biggest stage. The Stanley Cup Final returns on ABC and ESPN+.
Tonight's broadcast brought to you by Patriot Investments, a privately owned holding company focused on investing in small operating and early stage growth companies. Proud to support Sycamore Athletics. Before the second half begins, a quick look around the valley and what's happening tonight. Big one for the Drake Bulldogs on the road.
Yeah, Evansville's starting to get all their pieces back together, and so kind of a tough road game there for Drake. And we talked about looking at these games and where teams are going to play, where that final schedule is, and anticipation for Arch Madness.
Do you change anything you're doing if you're Josh Schertz? Is it a matter of shots going in?
I can promise you, Coach Schertz went into that locker room and said, guys, if you get open looks, continue to shoot them. I think it'd be different if your guys were taking step backs and bad shots and, just tough shots there from the three-point line. But those are all step-in three-pointers. A lot of them were catch and shoot, and he is going to want his guys to continue to put those up.
Avila under the basket. Trying for his own rebound. Kinzinger takes it away. The star of this one, Johnny Kinzinger, the true freshman from De Pere, Wisconsin. 14.6 of 6 from the field.
Hey, he got him off to a good start, didn't he? He had 11 of his 14 in the first 10 minutes of that first half.
Capitalizing on minutes with injuries. Foster had 8 early. Here comes the double. But Foster doesn't matter. Lays it in.
Yeah, double came, but Foster just lowered that shoulder, knocked Avila off the ball, and able to get to the basket.
Larry swings. Avila needs this one. Off the front side of the rim, and Lewis with the rebound now. So Illinois State, that's a costly turnover. Jason Kent contact. One more chance. Conwell missed it.
Wow.
And Kent shaken up under the basket.
Man. There's something there on both sides, really. A lot of contact there.
I'm not sure.
There's so much going on, you couldn't see it. I mean,
I lost what exactly happened to Kent, but
see, go up the first time. I mean, oh, that's a foul there on Larry. Conwell needs to hit that one, and maybe another one there.
I don't
then
know if
Conwell
Larry
fouls.
accidentally fell on top of Kent.
Yeah, I didn't see the end there.
Jason Kent needs some extra attention, and that is crucial for the Sycamores. Kent leads the Missouri Valley in double-doubles.
He's been terrific.
Rebounding.
And their energy guy. I mean, you look here, got the steal, just a decent contest by Banks. Larry probably got fouled. Is that what happened? Larry step on him?
I think he took a foot in the back of the head. Inadvertent, of course. He's going to go to the bench, and we'll see actually where they take him, whether that's locker room or bench, and it looks like locker room. So Indiana State down by 10, Matt Wren.
Wow.
One of their big-time juice players.
Yeah, and one of their most consistent players. And, you know, he's averaging over 10 points a game in conference play. So he has just been, you talk about, I mean, hate to even use the term glue guy. I mean, not to take away from the glue guys out there, but I mean, the guy's almost averaging a double-double. You know, you hardly put those guys in glue guy territory, but his consistency on both ends of the court has been terrific for Indiana State this season. Look like they're going to the monitor to look at this. I don't know if it was asked to do so, but I think from our angle and what you saw there, it looked like, you know, unless we missed something up top there, you know, maybe we can take another look at it and see there. But I think you're right. It looked like Larry came down on him.
Yeah, I mean, the best look was from the camera under the basket. Now, Matt Wren, let me ask you this. What does the Indiana State offense look like without Jason Kent? What happens?
Kent's their best card. Let's look at this replay here real quick. So, really nothing there. Oh,
it was Poindexter.
Yes, it was Poindexter.
But it was inadvertent.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
So, to the question, what happens now?
Well, look at your best cutter. And so it is a luxury to have Bledson, a guy who can, you know, do a lot of things to bring in. But, man, your bench gets shorter and shorter. I think where you miss Kent the most, obviously rebounding. But, I mean, one thing that's was underrated a little bit is Kent's able to switch 4 ways. And so it really hurts you defensively on kind of how you want to play. Indiana State switching a lot more things this season. And so you lose that ability. You know, Bledson limited on who he can guard. Avila limited on who he can guard. Kent not so much. And so you lose quite a bit defensively along with that cutting ability on the offensive end.
Give all credit to Illinois State. Up by 10. They have limited Indiana State to just 1 3, 1 of 18 from outside. Conwell was ran into on his way along the baseline.
So the longer this goes on, Illinois State able to hold this lead. Obviously, the more confident they become, you know, the more pressure it puts on Indiana State being the favorite. Still a lot of time left, 18 minutes. State's going down low again, this time to Lewis.
Yeah, Lewis now being guarded by Bledson. Another offensive rebound. They lead the Missouri Valley in that category, but Avila swats it away. Here come the trees. The feed, Larry in the corner. Still just that 1-3 offensive foul on top of it. They're going to give it to Avila.
And so at this point, you know, it's starting to creep into the minds of Indiana State on these three-point shots. There's another good look from Larry there in the corner. I mean, I think they understand how it's like when you start missing free throws, and how it becomes contagious. And so, I mean, Indiana State really could use a stretch where they hit a couple in a row to turn the tide in that area.
Well, look at what one did. Unfortunately, it was towards the back end of the first half. Illinois State gives the ball right back. Ryan Peden displaying his disappointment with Brett Smith.
Yeah, so a chance here to pull Shirts, get him into something. Yeah, I can't tell from that angle, but
safe to say the Redbirds disagree. Still, the Sycamores gladly take the basketball.
yeah, Redbirds staying in the zone. Why not? And good cut there. Wow.
Just not able to finish. But Larry picks it up again. 2-on-1. Larry off the cage.
You could see Larry frustrated. He missed the first one there. And just dug in and got a steal. And I think in a game where you're not shooting it, you may have to do that. Find a way on the defensive end, offensive rebounds to create some offense for your team.
Boy, Kinzinger went up against the whole Sycamore team. They forced the turnover. Here comes the home and center.
Well, you can tell a sense of urgency for Indiana State, knowing that the offense isn't clicking on even half the cylinders. And so understanding that you're going to have to get stops. That's the other part of the equation. And so guys all over the floor there. First with Larry. They got Lewis on that.
Larry, the Sycamores' leading scorer with 10. It's an 8-point game. Letson shot fake, kick, Conwell along the wing. That's pure.
Now the one guy, who hasn't taken a lot in this game is Conwell. He's a guy in the last game when others weren't making it. He was able to step up and knock in, so great fitting there for Conwell and a good time to bury one for Indiana State.
Without Jason Kent, the Sycamores back within 5. This is the under 16.
And business, and we could not be happier with the level of service that we're provided.
Riddell National Bank has helped us grow our business so that we can help grow our communities with the core values that we both share. If you're looking to grow your business, Riddell is your best option.
Indiana State University Sycamores conquer through questioning. They fly in to save the day. They master the medium. They wow the crowd. They fight for others. And more of them choose to stay right here in Indiana, living, working, thriving, and contributing to what makes this place great. It's what makes us Indiana's State University, and why we say real risk takers, real opportunity makers, and real game blue.
I wouldn't trade this for anything.
From Monmouth, he has just been a machine. 7 straight games, and now mark at 8 with double-figure point total.
Yeah, just a great effort there from Foster. I mean, he had Letson on one side, Avila on the other side, and he just went up. He got a first hand on the ball, but able to get his composure, finish through contact, and that's a huge play. You look back on this one, and it continues this way, and Illinois State maintains this lead. That may be a play you look at where the momentum started to go towards Indiana State, and then Foster with the huge offensive rebound to bring the lead back up to 8.
And he adds the extra 2. Larry, though, answers. Again, no Jason Kent. He went to the locker room, appeared to take a foot to the back of his head when he was down under the basket. Have not seen him since. Xavier Bledson filling in that role. Banks says he got 2 points today. Works his way in and got the friendly roll. Colton Banks, the transfer from Southern Illinois. Played his old teammates last time out. Larry again downhill, but it was deflected somehow into the hands of Swope, and now Conwell, top of the key.
Didn't hesitate there. And a lot of times those offensive rebounds lead to three-pointers, especially from the top of the key, and a timely one there from Conwell.
It's a heavyweight bout, blow after blow from each side. Sycamores, their first game in the top 25 of the Associated Press. Illinois State looking for an upset. And Foster got the whistle. We will sort that out after the media timeout. The Battle of the ISUs. It's a great one in Terre Haute tonight. And he has hit a pair of monstrous threes.
Yeah, he's been a bright spot here in the second half. Missed his first 4 3-pointers, but man, we'll get to probably both of them. Well, didn't show them there, but nailed 2 big 3-pointers that kind of lift the lid a little bit for Indiana State from the 3-point line.
So it seems like whatever Indiana State does, Illinois State able to answer.
And their answer here in the second half has been get the ball to Foster and let him go to work. Or himself creating some stuff off offensive rebounds. They're going right back to Foster.
That left hand deceptive. He had a clean look.
Yep.
Sycamores get a break. And now Larry. Isaiah Swope. It remains a 5-point game. Kinziger still has not missed a shot today. He is 6 of 6. There's a foul somewhere. Foster and Wolf collided. They're going to book Wolf.
He's probably lucky. Man, hands up high there. He got his hands up into the face here of Foster. You see left hand comes up high, trying to fight through that screen.
Fourth foul on the team for Indiana State. Poindexter, he's got 4 points today, has been quiet as he fades here. Crowd wanted an offensive foul. They get the miss, even exchange. Jake Wolf from the corner.
Big shot there, good one extra pass there from Swope. Probably could have taken the low. Wolf wide open for that corner pocket three, and a big one is a Sycamore faithful come to their feet.
It's Banks.
And you're right.
He quiets the crowd.
And once again, I mean, every time Indiana State, you think, all right, got a little momentum, going to turn the corner. Illinois State continues to hit big shot after big shot.
This game is just pure toughness at this point.
And it's been physical.
Well, and imagine how much more physical it can get in the next 13-22. I mean, this is a valuable win. Indiana State trying to hold court in the top 25. Illinois State just trying to play for their lives in the Valley.
Trying to play for their lives and obviously improve their seeding. And I think, you know, you made the remarks a couple times, just Coach Beaton just wanting these guys to dig a little deeper maybe. You know, find that little extra effort and kind of show him that. And I think they've done more than that here in this game so far as they're playing with some extreme passion.
Larry directing traffic. He exchanged hands and scored with his left off the glass.
And it was beautiful. I mean, going right, he thought he's going there, but that would have been blocked, and then the switch midair.
That's MJ type stuff.
That's beautiful.
Kinziger up top finds Lewis.
Hey, good cut.
That was a great cut by Kazuki. Almost some Jason Kent to that cut, but he missed it. And they're going to book Kazuki for a foul.
Well, it's been a while since Indiana State had the basketball with a chance to tie or take the lead. They're just easy call in transition and see if Indiana State can take advantage of it.
Again, no Jason Kent for the Sycamores. He left with an injury earlier this half. Swope for the lead. Illinois State dodges that bullet.
I mean, that 1 of 7 now from Swope from the 3-point line. And I know he struggled a little bit. I say struggled. You know, 8 out of his last 30 in the last 3 games coming into this one, which is not great, but I mean, he's a guy shooting at 40%. Most of the year was above 40%. And usually when he's open, you just expect it to go in.
Kinziger hasn't missed today. That's the first. Swope the rebound. Another chance to tie or take the lead. It's Conwell for his third. Boy, how many chances this crowd has just had a chance to blow the roof.
Yeah, and that's
this place.
I would say it's the first 3 that Indiana State has taken that he probably like maybe not, even though he already hit 2. And those are threes that they, you know, they've lived on those this season. But they've been able to get pretty good looks. tough matchup here for Swope.
Next whistle is immediate timeout.
Yeah, I mean, you got to take one there. And that's Foster gets another dribble, or you don't foul there. That's a layup.
Swope picks up the foul. That's only his first of the day. Under 12 timeout. Indiana State has scraped their way back to it, but without Jason Kent, can they pull off the comeback in the second half? Or will Illinois State pull off a key road win? And who left the game earlier this afternoon.
Yeah, it's evaluated for a head injury, pretty much what we thought, probably going through all the concussion protocol that's going to be required, and so no word on whether, he'll be able to come back into this game or not.
Jason is okay. I mean, how many elite plays has the Indiana State offense produced with Jason Kent in the game? I mean, infinite is the answer to that question. But Jake Wolf has done a nice job filling in. He has hit a three. Xavier Bledson has been in there. Sycamores within two, but Illinois State with the ball. Dalton Banks has been sharp passing. He got it to Foster. In and out. Foul on the floor, though, going on Wolf, who knocked down Lewis.
Yeah, didn't see it. Saw Lewis go down there, and that's a tough one because Indiana State had that defensive rebound. So, tell if he pushed him down or what it was, but a break here for the Redbirds.
And get the extra possession. Yep. Kinzinger had hit every one of his shots today until a missed three before the break. Pulls up from the elbow. Boy, he hit plenty of those shots as well in their last game. He is getting every opportunity to succeed. Mr. Basketball from the state of Wisconsin, a true freshman.
Yeah, didn't show anything like a true freshman on that one. See, drilled it, but another guy that Indiana State would love to see get hot, as Isaiah Swope, as he can fill it up in a hurry. And so who knows, maybe that's a catalyst that the Indiana State offense needs here in this game.
Swope up to 8 points, 2 triples today. Kinzinger now tries to answer. Instead, it's Banks. He took that extra dribble, still 9 to shoot. Kinzinger moves downhill, had to give it up one more time. End of the shot clock. Banks has got to hurry inside. Foul before the clock expired.
I mean, fans aren't going to like it, but I think in this replay, you're going to see Avila move into the shooter here on that play. I mean, that's a call.
Yeah, you're right. Crowd doesn't like it. Well, they're expressing it, but by the replay, you can see that he got bumped before that red light came up.
Yeah, and it was a foul. I mean, you can put your hands up all you want, but if you're leaning into a guy and knock him, you're going to get a foul call.
Banks misses the front end. He's only a 60% foul shooter. He is a senior, though. Played 3 years at Southern Illinois, transferred here. Misses both.
And it was a big
1 point game. A bucket gives the Sycamores the lead. Avila. Collective sigh from the crowd, and back to the Redbirds it goes.
Man. Yeah, and I think, look, when you're on top like that, you feel like you're going to have one of these games, and you just hope that it's maybe down the road, and so where you just don't shoot the ball. You thought maybe Missouri State was at, where Indiana State shot just 30% from the three-point line. But this shooting has really taken it to another level, something kind of uncharacteristic of this team. But boy, Illinois State, man, every time. A couple missed buckets, really 2 offensive rebounds in the last 2 possessions.
Kazuki threw it off the net. Walker tied up. That's a jumper. Possession arrow favors Indiana State. Sycamores get the ball. A lot happened on that play.
Yeah, and Indiana State just flying around on the defensive end. I mean, their effort down here has been tremendous. Swope's getting back into play. Just enough to tie it up. And Indiana State, another crack at it here to take the lead.
Malachi Poindexter checks back in for Dalton Banks. Illinois State, their largest lead today was 14. Much of that early in this game. Indiana State has yet to lead. Swope has a couple triples. He can pull from anywhere. Avila feeds him. Freeze with the lead.
Gorgeous pass there from Robbie Avila to McLean Swope. The Sycamores' first lead here for a while.
Forever.
That's right. I don't know if they got off too early in the game, but you're right.
The Redbirds have been so good answering. Can they do it again? And they turn it over.
And you give an assist to the home crowd there on that one. This place got loud in a hurry. Illinois State sped up a little bit. And off the foot of Poindexter there out of bounds.
This is what happens when you get put in the top 25. Every one of these games for the next month surely going to have this type of competitiveness.
And really the effort from both teams have been tremendous. Has this been a hard-fought game?
Both teams have struggled from outside. It's been a lot of this bruising inward. Avila the fake. Swope tries from the wing. In and out. This is just fun.
I think we may have seen the loudest that the crowd has been if he buries that one. They're on the verge of their seats, looking for a reason to get going. What a pass
by Kinzinger to the fellow freshman Walker. He traveled with it. Back-to-back turnovers by Illinois State, and the Redbirds have not scored now over the last 2 minutes and 42 seconds.
Yeah, I couldn't tell there. I mean, I think players and coaches for the Redbirds wanted it, but the ball was hit out of his hands there instead of the travel.
I believe Illinois State was credited with the bucket. Yep, they're going to stop it and change this.
Yeah, they're going to
have to. It's supposed to be 49-48.
I gave him 2 points for that.
Yeah, good on Xavier Bledson on that Indiana State bench. Nobody really realized it. Bledson started pointing. That got Josh Schertz to alert the scorer's table, and they're going to take that bucket away.
Got me second guessing myself. I look up there a lot. I thought Indiana State was up 1.
I got it sorted out now. That's Matt Wren and Brendan King, our great crew on hand. This is turning into just a tremendous ball game as Indiana State trying to survive in their first game as a ranked club in the Associated Press top 25 since 1979. Wolf faked. Conwell shoots. Conwell misses. Rebound by Foster. Banks back in. Foster's usually been their best bet in the paint. And a foul off the ball.
They got Wolf for another clutch or hold there in the post. And that's tough. I mean, it's a tough matchup. Giving up inches, giving up size. He's doing all he can in the battle. And there, referee just gets him for trying to swim over the top.
Third foul on Wolf.
So Sycamore's having to play smaller in a game where, you're going against a team that plays bigger with Lewis and Foster in there. And so really a tough situation for Wolf without having Kent in the game and leaving wide open.
Rebound to Banks. Illinois State has missed 3 consecutive free throws. Keep that in mind. Kinzinger with Avila. And Kinzinger will rip for 3. Hitting it, the freshman, Johnny Kinzinger again.
Man, not afraid of the moment.
19 points.
Incredible. No hesitation. No hesitation at all on that one. A little moxie, too, there.
Avila looks for the answer. That was in and out. Down to the last 7:20. Foster, Avila. This has been an all-night battle down low. Now the swing to the corner. Kazuki, back-to-back triples for the Redbirds. And Illinois State, this is a lot what it looked like to start the game early. They were hot shooting, but it's their first time converting back-to-back threes.
Yeah, early it was more getting to the basket and scoring down low.
Central Indiana Ford dealers.
Illinois State back up 54-49. I'm Brendan King with Matt Wren from the Holman Center. Earlier today at the morning shoot-around, Ryan Peden, head coach for Illinois State, called Johnny Kinzinger a cold-blooded competitor And boy, it's been a whole lot of that today. He is the leading scorer of the ball game as a true freshman with 19 points, Matt Wren, 8 of 10 on the field.
He's just been absolutely terrific. And, a true freshman on the road against the 23 ranked team in the country. And got him off to a good start there. I think 11 points early. And then, where Illinois State needed it most here in the second half, able to come up with some big plays as he's 8 of 10 from the field now for the Redbirds.
But again, he was, for Eden and company, first rated Mr. Basketball in any state to attend Illinois State. Also led Pierre High School up in Wisconsin to a 30-0 record last year on the way to a state championship. Boy, if you think about it, he's going to be a good one in the Redbird program. But in today's age of college basketball, if he gets noticed,
that's
who knows where he can go.
Well, and that was kind of to the point. I mean, you don't see a lot of true freshmen coming into play, and a lot of it is just saturation now with the extra COVID year, just more players, older guys that have stuck around, and so you just don't see guys coming in and playing a lot of minutes and performing the way he has the last couple of days. But wow, I mean, Swope missed his last couple, but another open one from the three. I like the fact that he doesn't hesitate there, as that was a big one for Indiana State. And you feel like Coach Church drew it up, like knew it full well that he wanted to get Swope a shot and would just love to see Indiana State's leading scorer get going in this game.
Heck of an extra pass by Larry on the assist, by the way. Banks goes to Foster, and Miles Foster lays it in. Foster continues to shine. He's got 17. Foster and Kinziger. Those are the two names you need to know for Illinois State tonight.
That one, I think Avila thought the ball was going up on the rim.
Swope again. He's getting hot.
That's a good sign for Indiana State. He's got some serious spurt ability, that young man does. And so, better late than never for Isaiah Swope.
Swope's three ball. Him and Conwell combined for 27 three-point attempts last game. Now they're falling. Banks circled everything. Just couldn't flush it down. Illinois State up by a penny.
And Swope shooting this ball, I'm telling you.
One more. That's one way to do a heat check, though. And now Kazuki,
and
coast to coast. Luke Kazuki, senior from St. Louis, transferred in from Kansas State.
Good job, Illinois State. Man, long rebound, get the push ahead, and get an easy bucket in transition.
Conwell for the tie. Rimmed out. Sycamores have taken 34 triples tonight, hitting 7.
I just didn't think there'd be a time where, now most of this is zone, but still you got that high ball screen action that people would even dare going under on Conwell or Swope and give them an opportunity to shoot a three. But
Kazuki's been hot, but he got fouled behind the arc in the corner. Kazuki was ran into, and he's going to go to the line for 3. Conwell's third personal foul. Kazuki from the free throw line is a good shooter at 84%, plus as a senior. But it's been a rowdy Holman Center, and they continue to struggle on free throws.
And 3 of 8 now.
That's their 4th consecutive miss from the line.
Wow.
Kazuki attended Chaminade High School in St. Louis. That name rings a bell because a whole lot of famous basketball players came out of there. Jason Tatum, Bradley Beal, as well as a couple hockey players, Matthew and Brady Tkachuk, both NHL All-Stars. 5-point game.
And another answer for the Redbirds. Just when you think Indiana State once again goes on a little mini run to get the push ahead, a free throw there, and back up to 5 for Illinois State.
Larry cross court, Swope. He stepped out. Illinois State was guilty of that earlier, and now Indiana State had a heel on the sideline.
Yeah, just with that line, whatever, that got moved back just a little bit. You've just seen that happen more and more on that corner. Right where it goes and angles to that straight line is, you see a lot of guys step out in that situation.
And an opportunity for Illinois State to expand it. Foster already with 17 points. He'll now re-enter. Foster spinning, Banks 8 to shoot. And now Kinzinger off glass and one. Kinzinger, he's already at his career high and more. It's his first career 20-point game. He's up to 21.
Yeah, I mean, he looked up, saw the shot clock at 8 seconds, and I mean, you knew the way this game was going. You see him look up there, sees the shot clock, understands he has to make a play. Takes contact, little flex at the end. Man, he's been really, really good in this game.
And he has earned that flex, there's no doubt. And Indiana State getting towards the under 4 timeout. Their first ranked game at number 23, at risk of an upset here in Terre Haute tonight. They need some shots to fall. Larry. That was bricked. There was a whistle somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I think you saw a little bit of nerves coming to this game. I don't know, a little bit of extra anxiety with the ranking, a little bit of tension, something. And then I felt like that grew a little bit once Indiana State started missing some threes. I mean, they were 1 of 17 at one point, in this game. And then now you find yourself in a barn burner down 8 with 4 minutes to go. And so those pressure shots and those pressure situations are real right now.
And a reminder, no Jason Kent being evaluated for a head injury. Left the game earlier this half. Appeared to be kicked in the back of his head, inadvertent. And Swope. Boy, that was a block and then some. It wound up to the other side of the court for Lewis, who draws a foul on Lenson. Bodies go flying. Wow. What a tough break for Indiana State, where Swope was deflected away, and that ball stayed in play for Lewis to take it.
Terrific play here by Banks. Gets a hand on it, but then still gets it off of Swope. And then right to Lewis in transition.
Buckle those seatbelts. Under 4 timeout. Back with the conclusion after this.
Right now, you can save 20% on your first order, plus fast free shipping right to your door.
The Stanley Cup Final on ABC and ESPN Plus.
Women's college hoops on ESPN and ABC.
Welcome inside the Toyota RAV4 under 4 media timeout. Dear style, efficiency, and performance. Glad we're on the same team. This season and every season, let's keep huddling up and going for it. Toyota, let's go places. That read almost a restless type feeling in the Holman Center. Sweaty palms, no doubt about it. Where the number 23 Sycamores down by 8 to Illinois State, and before the timeout, a foul going on Xavier Bledson on Kendall Lewis. Lewis at the free throw line.
And really a fortuitous bounce there, right into Lewis's hands in the open court. And you're exactly right. I mean, anxiety at all levels here, and I mean, you just look at what this would look like for Indiana State moving forward, implications on any kind of postseason and things like that, and so, man, down 10 with 3:51 to go, and Indiana State, I can't say they've been in this situation this year. They've been in some tough ones, and so they're going to have to allow a little bit of magic to pull this one off at halftime.
Magic, no doubt, but you're going to have to get shots up in a hurry. Swope has been hot from 3. He's got 2 triples in the last 10 minutes. And Avila cuts underneath.
Yeah, you got to score, but I think you got to go through a stretch here where you go 2.5, 3 minutes where you hold Illinois State scoreless. I mean, you're talking 8 points right now. I mean,
what's happened before?
You have to dig in and get a stop at this end and string a couple stops together.
And if you're Illinois State, you want to use clock, right?
Use clock, but still get a good one. You're not in just a hold ball. You want to use clock. Get a good shot at the end of the shot clock.
Banks spinning and twirling against Miller. They get the miss, but Foster again.
Just a killer there. I mean, Foster just parking himself on that opposite side rebound and really just outworking.
Miles Foster, just a machine.
Opposite side there. I mean, just finding a way. I mean, the ball comes off right there. I mean, took contact, and that's 2 or 3 times where you feel like it's a big possession. Indiana State needs a stop. They get a missed shot. and then somehow Foster comes up with the offensive. He got an and one, hit the free throw, 3-point swing there, or more, because it could have gone the other direction. And here another big play for Foster.
Foster has really improved as a foul shooter. He started the year just 7 of 22 from the line. He has improved all the way up to 65%. Started bad, and has gotten a lot better. Today he's 3 of 3. Julian Larry. He tried to almost switch hands again. He had that MJ-style layup earlier where he went from his right to his left. In midair again, he tried for those aerodynamics, and he was fouled on his way.
Just trying to get downhill and attack in the early and get some early offense here. I don't know if we'll be able to tell from this angle what kind of contact it was.
Gonna need these. Larry has stepped up, 80% foul shooter on the year. Mason Miller in the game. That could pay dividends for some potential three-point threats. But again, the Sycamores doing this without Jason Kent. How much has Indiana State missed him?
Oh, man. You're talking about a guy, 13 points, 10.6 rebounds, and 64% of the field in conference play. And arguably Indiana State's most versatile, defender on that end. So they're missing a lot.
He was knocked out of the game, evaluated for a head injury. No Jason Kent right now. 2:40 to go. 8-point game. Illinois State looking for the massive upset. We are on upset watch in Terre Haute, there's no doubt. And Kinzinger has been the star of today, the true freshman. And he's got 24 points.
It's incredible. Just big shot after big shot.
Back to 10 and a three-pointer miss. Big rebound for the Redbirds. Illinois State, they only played one other ranked opponent this year, losing at Kentucky at Rupp Arena. That was in the first month of the season. Again, looking to kill more clock. 2 to go. It's Banks for 3. That could have iced it.
It really could have. Indiana State just doing what they have to do. Got to chase the ball, try to create extra possessions.
Sycamore still alive. Offensive foul.
Yeah, that could be a frustration one. You see Swope going to the basket here. Let's see if he extends that left arm. Pretty good angle there.
I believe a timeout. In a minute 51, timeout taken in a 10-point game. We're going to keep it right here with you. Brendan King with Matt Wren. Indiana State on upset alert. Sycamores have won 9 straight to this point, but Matt Wren, you got to tip your hat to Illinois State. They haven't necessarily shot the ball well. They only have 3 triples in the game. They haven't been a strong three-point shooting team all year. They have gotten it done ferociously inside.
Yeah, they really have. And Kinzinger just making big shot after big shot. So, we talked about coming in, they're going to have to shoot higher than their season percentages and things like that. Coming in just shooting 41% from the field, they're 51% in this game. Defense has been, it's been pretty good. They're kind of sitting back in a 2-3 zone, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm not saying letting Indiana State shoot, but Indiana State's getting a lot of clean looks from the three-point line and not going in, and they've stuck with it. Indiana State never able to really lift that lid off the basket. But look, 151 to go, 10 points, not insurmountable, but for Illinois State, you got to take care of the ball. You can't turn it over. For Indiana State, you're going to have to create some turnovers here, or you're going to have to start fouling and hope the Redbirds miss from the line.
Yeah, the Redbirds have played right to their average. Boy, you got the basketball. Conwell's on the floor. Banks ran into him.
I need to rub a little magic on this one here. Maybe the ball will start going in.
Conwell shaking up. Let's take a peek here.
I think you got to allow the guy to, catch it. That's the rules. You've got to allow him to catch it and establish position. They changed that years and years ago. You can't come underneath him and take that charge as he's catching the ball. You just can't.
And Banks goes to the line. Banks has missed both of his foul shots today. And he drains that one. Up to an 11-point game. 132nd meeting all time between the two ISUs. Now, this has happened before, potentially. Illinois State beat Indiana State back on January 21st, 1978, when Indiana State was ranked, as Larry goes to the cage. And
I saw that stat earlier and thought, that's crazy. I mean, they're 1-0 against Indiana State when they're ranked back on that day.
That was Larry Bird junior year.
Yeah. So now another opportunity the very next time, over a long span that Indiana State gets ranked, and a chance to do it again.
Indiana State did have a small lead, and by small we mean minuscule. They led by a point earlier this half.
Yeah, and look, I mean, every time Indiana State was, not if they got the lead, but man, they closed in, they've gone runs, they took the lead that time. I mean, Illinois State has answered back, and they have shown some grit, some toughness, quite a bit of moxie here in the second half. And this environment, when the crowd got going, to continue to make plays.
Kinzinger bodied, and quickly the foul with 1:38 to go, and in shock on many faces here at the Holman Center. Wolves fourth. Was, but Kinzinger back to the line.
He's just been tough with the basketball. He's been tough in his shot making. 24, 25 now with that free throw for Kinzinger. I mean, I think you go down the list of, guys Indiana State was worried about. And I think that list started on the inside, Foster, Lewis, and that. I mean, Kinzinger's played great, but I don't know that, anyone expected Kinzinger to put a 26 spot on the Sycamore. But
no, I mean,
you said it early, though. You talked, the coach loves his toughness, loves his grit. You have to have that in this environment to succeed.
Wolf will score. That gets it back within 10 with 90 seconds to play. Yeah, before tonight, Kinzinger's season high on points was 14. And again, Illinois State playing without three starters, Davis, Burford, and Lead. Conwell fouls Kinzinger.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think you need to probably start fouling there. That time, though, the shot clock had gotten, I think, under 20. I think if you're going to pick a guy to foul, I'm not sure. Kinzinger, the way he's played in this game,
right?
He's the guy you want to put, on the line.
Ryan Peden looking for his first ranked win as a head coach. And there is a quick timeout. 30-second variety. Teams talking it over. George Peden, who started his coaching career at the Miami of Ohio. Charlie Coles was his mentor there. John Gross, he coached under at Illinois. Went to Butler to be with Chris Holtman. Followed him to Ohio State, and now coaching at Illinois State.
No wins bigger than this one, I would say, so far, if they end up going Redbirds' favor. But it's Conwell's fifth foul there on that little break, so we got a little time to get a substitute in, and a mini timeout for really both teams there.
Kinzinger misses that one. He's still got 26 points to go with 4 rebounds. And, I mean, this might be the most shocking of all. A true freshman, a guard at that, 10 of 12 from the field on the road.
Not afraid of the moment.
Sycamores keeping as much clock as they can. 1:15 remains, but they're down big. Swope does get fouled, so they'll get a chance to score with their clock stopped.
Yeah, I don't know the way Illinois State's kind of handled this pressure and the lineup that Indiana State has in. Are they going to be able to pressure much with Avila there and Bledson, out there? I mean, you really get 2 release guys. I think if you're Indiana State, you just got to hope to win a free throw contest at this point. Try to pick your person you want to foul them right away, and just hope the Redbirds miss. And I just don't know that Indiana State's going to be able to create the turnovers that they're going to need.
Wolf does add at the line, but still a mountain to climb. Only 72 seconds available.
3 possessions. Yeah, need to steal the three-pointer here. I wouldn't foul him. Yeah, Coach Shirt's kind of asking Bledsoe the same thing.
His fourth, Aaron Gray will go to the scorer's table. He'll check in for the first time. And as you said, even though Kinzinger missed one a moment ago, 27 points, he's 85% from the line in his freshman campaign, and he's feeling good.
Yeah, usually in those situations, you'll try to get an initial trap, and then if you don't get the trap you want, then it's, hey, we'd like to foul, this guy or this guy. Make Kinzinger give it up.
29 for the true freshman. It's his first career 20-point game, and if he gets fouled again in the next minute 9, he has a chance for a 30-piece.
Wow.
Get this guy on SportsCenter tonight. It is the story of the country in college basketball as Illinois State trying to upset the Trees, and it looks like they're on their way with 60 seconds left. They're just going to try and kill time. Illinois State is 11-14, losers of 3 straight heading into this one. They're just 5-9 in the Missouri Valley at this point. But what a season-changing win this can turn into.
Oh, no doubt about it. And maybe, who knows? I think early on in your coaching, you're looking to, culture stuff. And so how hard Illinois State competed in this game and the effort that it took, to win something like this is, something that you could start to build, a program around and start getting your guys to buy in. And so, I think, this loss, man, you feel bad for Indiana State. They just couldn't get anything to go down. And you kind of felt like there was going to be that one game in these last 6 that was going to happen. I don't know that you kind of expected of this magnitude. 7 of 37 from the three-point line, 19%. I just don't think anyone thought that the three-point shot was going to continue to not fall and not fall and not fall for ISU.
It's one of those things you have to scratch your eyeball at.
Yeah.
That 7 for 37 on threes. Yeah. Illinois State is going to dribble out the rest of this shot clock. And by the way, Kinzinger, 31 points.
Wow.
It's the game of his life. They will get a shot up and hit it. Kazuki, for good measure. He's got 10. Larry with one more. He'll connect. Julian Larry with a 20-point game. Larry's career high is 21, but the rest of the clock will go.
Yep.
Josh Schertz and Ryan Peden shake hands. It is Ryan Peden's first ranked win at Illinois State and the first ranked victory for the Redbirds since February 26, 2016, when they knocked off Wichita State. It's a shocker in Terre Haute.